So we're up to the laws of Tisha B'Av itself, page 400. Baruch Hashem. Who is obligated to fast? Pregnant woman and nursing woman are obligated to fast on the 9th of Av, just like on Yom Kippur. That's Shulchan Aruch, explicitly, in chapter 554, Seif Hey, section 5. However, the following women are allowed to eat Tisha B'Av, on Tisha B'Av. Who are they? A woman within 7 days of giving birth. She's not allowed to fast even if she wants to. A woman from 7 days till 30 days. She's not obligated to, but if she wants to, she's allowed to. Number 3, a woman who miscarried after 40 days of pregnancy has a status of a woman who gave birth, and therefore she cannot fast during the first 7 days, but is not obligated to during the first 30 days. And then a woman who previously miscarried because of fasting. The doctor told her, you know why you miscarried? Because you fasted, and there's a risk of she'll miscarry again. If she fasts, over there on Tisha B'Av, she does not have to fast. A woman who had cesarean also has a status of a woman who gave birth, and therefore she should also, during the first 7 days, she's not obligated to fast, and she shouldn't fast. During the first 30 days, she's not obligated to, but if she wants to, she could. Nursing woman's milk supply will be affected. If it will be affected by fasting, and the doctor says it will negatively affect the baby, then she does not have to fast. Nursing and pregnant women do not have to fast when Tisha B'Av falls out on a Shabbat and it gets pushed off, delayed till Sunday. However, they should not eat more than necessary. And that's what this year is going to be. This year is going to be Tisha B'Av on a Sunday because it was pushed off from Shabbat. It literally landed on Shabbat. It got pushed off till Sunday. It's called Nidche. Since it was delayed, it has a lower status in Halacha to the point where a pregnant and nursing woman who usually have to fast Tisha B'Av, they are allowed to not fast this Tisha B'Av. 33. If one is too weak to fast and is told by the doctor that the fast will injure him and bring him to danger, then he does not have to fast. An elderly person should fast unless his doctor tells him otherwise. If one will not be injured by the fast, but you will become very weak, one may eat less than a kazayit of food or drink less than a revita liquid at a time. 34. Those who are permitted to eat because of potential danger from fasting may eat as they would regularly without restricting themselves to eat small amounts at a time. Which means that Yom Kippur, right, you're not allowed to eat more than a certain measurement, right? You have to eat in increments, right? But on Tisha B'Av, if you have an exemption to not fast, then you can eat regular. You don't have to eat in increments. 35. Let's say you want to fast and you're healthy. You just have to take a medicine every single day. One who needs to take medication on Tisha B'Av should do so without water. Just swallow the pill like that. Try to put it as far back in your throat and just swallow it. However, if one cannot swallow the pill without water, he may swallow it with less than a revita of water. However, if the pill has a sweet taste, a sweet coating, you should swallow it with bitter tasting water. There's also some opinions that say you wrap it in nylon before swallowing. This is a choking hazard. I don't know who wants to swallow nylon, a saran wrap. So therefore, it's better to do mixture with bitter water, such as a very strong tea water or something like that. 36. One who is permitted to eat on Tisha B'Av is not obligated to eat Melav Malka when Tisha B'Av is Motzei Shabbat. All right, so this year we're going to start Motzei Shabbat Tisha B'Av because it's going to be delayed till Sunday, so it starts really Saturday night. Even if there's no one's going to eat Melav Malka that Motzei Shabbat, but even those who are exempt from fasting, there is no obligation to eat the fourth meal on Motzei Shabbat when it's Tisha B'Av. What about smoking? 37. Smoking is permitted on Tisha B'Av for one who's addicted. Meaning, obviously, you shouldn't start smoking. It's dangerous and not healthy to smoke. However, if possible, one should smoke privately. Because what happens with smoking? Smoking is like a thing people do together. It's like a chill thing to do. Like, hey, what's up, buddy? Come, let's schmooze while we smoke. So on Tisha B'Av, it's not appropriate to like hang out and chill while smoking. You should do it so privately. 38. One may smell snuff, but only if it does not have an added pleasant smell. Snuff is like sniffing tobacco, and people like the feeling of it, so they're allowed to do it also on Tisha B'Av. 39. It is not permitted to smell besamim on Tisha B'Av. Right? That's a sur. Okay, interesting. 40. According to many poskim, the obligation to learn Torah every day includes Tisha B'Av. But we know that you're not allowed to learn regular Torah on Tisha B'Av. It says that the Pikotei Hashem Yisharim Mesamchei Lev, right? The God's instructions are straight and they make our heart happy. So you're not allowed to have the tremendous joy on Tisha B'Av. You got to be sad. It's a day of mourning. So you're not allowed to learn regular Torah. What are you going to do? You're only allowed to learn permitted subjects. And what are they? The following list is the permitted list of things you could learn at Tisha B'Av. Number 1, Sefer Iyov with commentaries. Okay, Iyov is one of the books of Tanakh. It describes a great tzaddik named Iyov who went through a lot of suffering in his life, and a great musar we could learn from Iyov with the commentaries. 2, Sefer Yirmiyah, which is talking about the Jewish people's pain and anguish. Or 3, Megillat Echa. Megillat Echa is talking about the destruction of Beit HaMikdash and its commentaries. Right. 3rd parak, Moed Katan, Masechet Moed Katan. We learned that. That talks about the laws of Avelut, of mourning in general, when someone's loved one passes away. So therefore, you're allowed to learn the laws, and the Gemara is related to Avelut. That's the 3rd chapter of Moed Katan, called Elu Megalchim. Okay, number 5, Gitin 55b to 58a. That describes the destruction of Beit HaMikdash. That's a famous Gemara, Bar Kamsa. Then you have Sanhedrin 96a and 104b. Those also discuss the destruction of the Beit HaMikdash. At the end of Ta'anit in Masechet Yerushalmi, in the Talmud Yerushalmi, Masechet Ta'anit in the Talmud Yerushalmi. Over there, if you learn the Yerushalmi in Masechet Ta'anit, that's also good. Number 7, one may read from Sefer Yosifun. Yosifun was a historian at the times of when all this was happening. Yes, and you could read his recollection of what happened at that time. Number 8, Masechet Semachot. Masechet Semachot also deals with the laws of mourning. Number 10, one may read about the Holocaust. One may read the laws of halachot of mourning. One may learn musar. You learn self-improvement. However, if the musar books that you're reading bring up other subjects, you should not digress and you should stick to the musar. You're allowed to read biographies of tzaddikim and history books of the Jewish people. If one has to prepare a Tisha B'Av reading, right, there's a Baal Koreh. Baal Koreh has to read the Torah on Tisha B'Av. If you need to study that to be able to read it properly, you may. It's not considered learning Torah. Okay, what about Tehillim? People want to say, Rabbi, I can't learn Gemara, I can't learn Mishnah, I can't listen to that lecture, so I'll read Tehillim. What's the big deal? No, preferably it should not be recited. However, if there's a need, let's say someone's sick, you need to say Tehillim for him, he needs to heal for Refuah Shlema right now, or you're stuck somewhere and you're in danger, you're allowed to say Tehillim if you need to say Tehillim. Number 2, Chok L'Yisrael may not be learned on Tisha B'Av, even though you learn it every day. That's the Sefer where they break up a little bit of Mishnah, Gemara, Psukim, Navi, and you just learn it a little bit of every day, daily dose. Those are not learned on Tisha B'Av. According to the letter of the law, one may read a newspaper and listen to the radio. Obviously, it has to be an appropriate radio show or an appropriate newspaper. However, one should try to refrain from doing these activities. If you read Shnai Mikra HaTargum every day, you're not allowed to do it on Tisha B'Av. Zohar and Kabbalah should not be studied on Tisha B'Av. Even when you learn the permitted subject material that we mentioned, it has to be that it's not in depth. One may learn the text that discusses the destruction of Beit HaMikdash with children who can understand. Women also are not allowed to learn Torah on Tisha B'Av, only the permitted subjects. Preferably, one should not even think about Divrei Torah, not just to learn it inside. Baruch Na'olam. Amen ve'amen.